Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making a chocolate Basque cheesecake. To start this dish, I'm brewing just a little Vietnamese coffee. You can use espresso if you prefer. I'm going to set that aside and let that brew. Next up, we need to heat up 1 cup of heavy cream just to a light simmer. We don't want to bring this to a boil. Measuring out 2 tablespoons of that espresso. Then we're going to chop up 8 ounces of really good bittersweet chocolate. Just into nice big chunks. We're going to pop that into a heat-proof bowl and set that over a double boiler. So on the stove, I have our cream heating in the background and a larger pot with 2 inches of water on that front burner. We're going to place the chocolate on top, add that Vietnamese coffee or espresso, whatever you're using, giving that a little mix. Then we're going to pour in our hot cream. We're basically making a chocolate ganache. So we're going to stir this around until all of that chocolate is melted and that cream has emulsified into our chocolate. I do like to go in every now and then, lift up the bowl, and just make sure there's nothing still solidified underneath. When you're doing a double boiler, just make sure the hot water is not touching the bottom of your bowl. Once that's thoroughly melted and glossy, we're going to take that off and let that cool. Now for this cake, we are going to use an 8-inch springform pan, just using a paper towel and some butter to grease up the insides and the bottom because we're going to line this with parchment paper and we want the parchment paper to stick. After we're all buttered up, we're going to take a large piece of parchment, press that in, and it's okay if there are some wrinkles in this. It's kind of the beauty of the appearance of a Basque cheesecake. So just squishing that in there, sticking it to the sides and the bottom, and cutting off the top so it just rises up about 1.5 inches. Now into a large bowl, we're going to add 4 blocks of room temperature cream cheese. Just popping that all in there, and we're going to add in 1 cup of caster sugar to this. And also a pinch of salt that's going to bring out the sweetness. And we're going to smash this around. I'm going to switch over to my Dutch whisk. And we're going to mix this until all that sugar is incorporated into the cream cheese and the cream cheese is light and fluffy. So after we have achieved ultimate fluffiness, we're going to scrape down the sides. And we're going to start adding in 6 eggs, but we need to do this 1 at a time. So add 1 in, mix this thoroughly until that egg is incorporated throughout before you go in and add the next one. So after all the eggs are in, scrape down the sides again, and we can pour in our chocolate ganache, just getting all of that goodness in there, because we don't want any of this to go to waste, and giving this a nice little mix. And you can see the color of this is already turning beautiful. I should say at this point, you should be preheating your oven to 430 degrees Fahrenheit. Now into a little bowl, we're only going to add 1/3 cup of flour and 1 1/4 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. And we're going to sift that into our cream cheese mixture, just to get out any large lumps. And we're going to scrape down the sides again and mix that thoroughly until all that flour, the little bit that we added, is incorporated into our cream cheese mixture. Now we're going to tip this into our parchment lined springform pan, and we're going to put this in the oven and let this cook at 430 Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. And please do not open your oven door. You don't want this to collapse. Definitely turn on the oven light, and after 45 minutes, you're going to be rewarded with this almost chocolate souffle looking cake. We're going to let this cool down until it's cool enough to touch and take off the outer ring of the springform pan. And we're going to decorate with just a little candied orange that I made earlier. Now the consistency of this should be almost custardy inside. I'm a little nervous for the reveal since I've never made this before. A little hot tip, wipe your blade in between cuts to get the cleanest cut possible. See if we can get this out in one piece. No, but that consistency is looking perfect. Now let's go ahead and give this a taste. The espresso has brought out the inherent chocolatiness of this chocolate. We used a really good chocolate, so this is absolutely delicious. You get this crusty outside and this super luscious, creamy interior. The cream cheese comes through because this is a cheesecake, but this consistency, this end result is absolutely stunning. And it is decadent and delicious and a perfect dessert for your holiday meal. But there it is, Chocolate Basque Cheesecake. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really do appreciate it. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell because I put out new videos every Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving, and until next time, happy cooking.